I'm going to deploy into a Solana liquidity pool for maximum APR, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do it. So here in my wallet, I have some Solana. I used to have a lot more, but with this market, it's gone down a ton. So here in my wallet, I have some Solana. So over on Orca, that's the decentralized exchange I'm going to use. We can go to the pools section. But the thing is, when we're scrolling through, looking at the pools available, we can't see too much information about the pools. Like for example, for Sol to USDC, we can see some information such as yield, volume, TVL, but we can't go much more in depth. We can't see past volume history. We can't really see past fee history. So I'm definitely going to have to use a different tool to find which liquidity pools I want to deploy into. I'm going to use Metrics Finance. It's the best software for this since it helps you find the best liquidity pools and also simulate your position to see what type of money you could be making. And then third, it's great for building out and tracking your portfolio. So I'm going to launch the app. I'll leave a link in the description where you can claim a trial to the pro version of Metrics Finance. But anyways, I'll go to Discover and let's go to Orca and then select network. So Solana. So now we have 357 pools to sort through. That's a lot of pools, but a lot of them are going to be crap that I don't want to look at. So for TVL, let's go here and look for pools that have higher than, let's just say, $3 million in TVL. Now we have 15 pools. And then for average daily fees, let's look for pools that have at least $1,000 in average daily fees. I'd probably want some that have more than that, but we'll put that as a filter for now. And then now we're down to 11 pools. So you can see that these two filters alone knocked out so many pools out of the equation. And you can see there's pools like Jito Sol to Sol that are showing very low APR. So let's filter those out of the way. For now, we can just put higher than 12% APR. Okay, now we're at 9 pools. Now we have some pools to sort through. So right off the bat, we have USDC. So now we have some pools to sort through. Right off the bat, we have USDC to Sol, USDC to JLP. We have Coinbase Bitcoin to Sol. And from here, I'm going to start evaluating my options. So I'm really only interested in these top 3 positions. Coinbase Bitcoin to Sol, USDC to JLP, and USDC to Sol. Reason being is they have the highest TVL. I don't really want to dabble in pools that have under 4 million in TVL. So let's first go ahead and look at Coinbase Bitcoin to Sol. I'm going to go ahead and hit the simulate button, open it up in a new tab, and we can see a ton of information about the pool so we can do advanced research. First, I'll set my sample deposit amount of, let's just say, $1,700, and then we can see our liquidity distribution chart along with our Sol price charts. And then we can see the liquidity distribution chart along with our price chart. So now I have to find a range. So let's go here for a sample range. Okay. Now with this range, we're looking at about 86% APR. I'm going to zoom out on the calculation range to see the performance over the past 100 days. This is very useful. And I'll zoom back in. So this is looking solid. 87% APR. But what's really important is let's check out the fee history. So scrolling down. Okay, so there's solid amounts of fees per day. Volume solid. All right, this is looking very solid. The assets are about 92% correlated, so that's very good. So there's a solid chance that if one of these assets, such as Coinbase Bitcoin or Solana, goes up, the other one will. And then the next step would be to read more about Coinbase Bitcoin. So I'm going to go ahead and copy it, go over to CoinGecko, paste it in, and then let me real quick check it out. I'm not going to have you listen to all this. I'll just cut it. So overall, Coinbase Bitcoin seems like a solid opportunity to pretty much have a Bitcoin to Solana position. So let me change this to a 20-day calculation range to try to get a better simulation. I'm widen the range a bit. With this calculation range and this range, we're looking at about an 85% yearly APR. So I'm going to go ahead and save this to my portfolio for later because I definitely might want to deploy into this one. So now let's check out USDC to JLP. Let's go over here to the simulate tab. And then right off the bat, I do want to know more about JLP. So I'm going to go copy JLP, put it in CoinGecko, and then read about it so I can see the role it plays in the DeFi ecosystem. It looks pretty interesting. I don't think I'd be as comfortable deploying into this pool as I would into another one like Solana to USDC or Bitcoin to Solana, the route to Bitcoin to Solana. So let's take a look at this. Wait, it looks interesting. I don't think I'd be as comfortable deploying into this pool as I would into, for example, the Coinbase Bitcoin to Solana or Solana to USDC. We can find a range and see what type of APR it could be getting. I'm going to zoom out on the calculation range, zoom back in. It's showing very high APR. It's showing about 137% APR. And per day, there's solid amounts of fees being paid out. Some days are lower, but it's nothing too scary. This is definitely a solid position, but I would just be this is definitely a solid position. I'm just not too familiar with JLP, so it probably isn't the right decision for me. But if you are more familiar with it, it could be a solid option because it is showing very high APR. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm just showing you my opinion and how I'm finding these liquidity. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And remember there are risks. Remember, there are risks to this DeFi investing, such as divergence loss. I'm not a financial advisor, so always do your own research. So I'm going to look at the USDC to Solana position, simulate it in a new tab. Let's see. I've been in this position many times before, so I'll quickly set the deposit amount. And let's go ahead and find a range. It's crazy how low Solana has been recently. Wow. So with a min price of 104 and max price of 193, we're looking at about 86% APR. I can't imagine Solana would touch 104. So I'm going to up this a bit to about like 112 or something. Let's see. I'll put it like 113. Now we're getting about 99% APR. So this is looking solid. As long as Solana holds this and doesn't push lower, this could be a solid position. Obviously, these assets aren't correlated since Solana is not going to go up if USD. Wait. Obviously, the correlation is very low of these assets because Solana and USDC are not related since USD. Obviously, the correlation of these assets are very low since USDC is a stable coin and Solana is not supposed to move. Scrolling down, we have volume history. A lot more fees being paid out per day in this position than the other ones. So I honestly will probably end up entering this position again. But we still should compare this to the Coinbase Bitcoin to Solana position. So I'm going to go ahead and save this to my portfolio. Now let's go to the build section and compare. So the Coinbase Bitcoin is sold position. The assets are very correlated and it's showing about 85% APR. Now the Solana to USDC position is not correlated, but it doesn't matter since it's a stable coin paired with Solana. And it's showing about 99, almost 100% APR. See, the 100% APR is looking very enticing. And also, the fees per day, along with volume, was much higher on the Solana to USDC position. So I think I'm going to go ahead and enter this one. So the next step here is go to Orca and then find the pool. So in this case, it's the 0.04% fee tier. So let's go to pool. Let's look at Sol to USDC, 0.04% fee tier. It's this one right here. So now I'm going to go and custom liquidity range because we selected our range earlier. We don't want to provide full liquidity. So let's see what we had for min price. So the min price, we had 113.16. Let's grab that. And then for max price, we had about, let's see, 193.99. So 194 pretty much. All right, so now we have this set up. It's showing our estimated yield per 24 hours based on the past 24 hours of data. And then our deposit amount. Now I'm going to turn on auto swap so I can swap the assets easier. I don't want to have to buy USDC. I just want to use my Solana to deploy into this. And remember to claim a trial. And if you've learned something so far, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss an upload. So I'm going to type in max Solana, and now it's showing it would take up this much of my wallet. And now it's showing the total would be 1,664, and I'd have about 1.3K in Solana and $300 in USDC. So this is looking good. Let's see the fees. So we have about $2 in fees, not bad, and we're estimated to make back double the fees in the next 24 hours. So I'm okay with paying that fee. Now I'm going to go to trade. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and confirm. All right, we just traded our Solana for USDC. So now in our wallet, you can see we have both Solana and USDC. Now I'm going to deploy into the wallet. Let's go ahead and deploy. Here we go, confirm. All right, great. Now we are in the pool. And now we're going to go ahead and go to our portfolio. We're in the pool.